Disney's 2023 box office. The market gave a resounding no. And all of us in this sphere just shrug and say, "We told you so."
And here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Glad you stopped by. And if you're brand new, welcome. Grab a seat and stay a while. Do me a couple favors first. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Go next door, ring that bell. Make sure it says all so you know when the next video pops up. Hit that like button. And before you head out, drop a comment. And if you're one of the regulars here, welcome back for another round. As you also hit that like button. And before you leave, drop a comment, because YouTube does love the comments. And of course, share the video out on all social media. Quick shout out, Roman of the Empire. Always a pleasure being on his show. We talked about and gave a little eulogy for the Disney Doctor Who, dear God in heaven. So thank you, Roman. Check out his channel as well. Link will be down below in the description. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I talked about the best of 2023. I'm going to leave a link to that video down below in the description. So it's only fair that we talk about some of the worst. Nobody had a worse year than the House of Mouse. How bad, you ask? Well, let's just take a look. Now, I'm going to set the table here first with a couple little things here. As I've talked about in other previous videos, when I'm talking about the money aspect, I talk about the price tag. Now, the price tag is the production cost plus the marketing. That's the baseline to break even. Now, with marketing, Disney generally spends about $100 to $200 million depending on the size and scope of the film. So I generally go with about $150 million as a baseline. Okay? Now, the production budget. This does not mean what Disney spent. The actual spend in almost every case is much higher than what the stated budget is. Now, unless I have more accurate information, we're just going to go with the stated budgets thus far. Okay, now as far as the box office goes, the way this works, the studio does not bring back that big number at the end. They are renting space in the theaters, so the theaters keep some of that revenue as well. Now, the splits are in the domestic market, which is the United States and Canada. The studios get 55%. In the international market, the studios get 43%. And also, with that international, you kind of got to treat China as a separate entity, because China yields back only 25%. So you're going to get a much more accurate number here. So when you take the net box office return and subtract the price tag, you're going to get your profit or loss. So let's get started with some of the pillars of Disney that Bob Iger has said. We're going to start with Pixar. And the theatrical release they had this year was Elementals, which had a stated production budget of about $200 million. That's an expensive animated film with a marketing budget, again, $150 million for a total price tag of $350 million. Its total gross box office was $486,735,727. When you factor in all the returns back, what Disney brought home was $224,968,598 for a net loss of $125+ million. Not a good start. Now we're going to go over to Lucasfilm. What they didn't have a Star Wars film, but they did have Indiana Jones and the Dumpster Fire of Destiny. How big of a dumpster fire? Let's find out. So, the production budget, $300 million. Again, that's going to be higher. Plus a marketing budget of $150 gives us a $450 million price tag. $450 million price tag. Okay. Its gross box office. Here's where it gets good. $387,561,976. When you factor in everything, Disney brings back $184,415,284 for a net loss. Are you ready, folks? $265,584,716. Yikes! That's a loss of $390 million, and we've only talked about 2 films. But it gets better. We're going to go over to Disney itself, which had 3 films come out. We had The Little Mermaid, Haunted Mansion, and Wish, which is still in theaters, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But let's talk with The Little Mermaid, shall we? A production cost of $250 million, marketing factor in $150, for a total price tag of $400 million. Its total gross, $568,345,048. Disney brought home a whopping $279,495,034 for a net loss of $120,504,966. Ooh, but don't worry. The Moana's coming. We're going to go now. Next, we have the Haunted Mansion. Now, I'm going to change this a bit because the stated production budget is only $158 million. So I'm actually going to lower the marketing cost for, again, a smaller size film to just $100 million for a total price tag of $258 million. Oh, this is not helping. Because the film grossed $114,795,989 for a return $57,931,530 for a net loss of $199,068,470. Oh dear God. Now, here comes Wish. Now, Wish is still in theaters as of right now, but it's tracking worse than the Haunted Mansion. And because I'm such a nice guy, we're going to say that this film tops out at $115 million. That's right, because I'm a nice guy like that. And because I don't have numbers for China and everything, we're going to be generous again and just say an even 50% the studio gets back. Okay? So here we go. A production budget of $200 million. plus $150 million for marketing gives us a $350 million price tag. It's, as I said, I'm being generous, topping it out at $115 million. Half of that, $57,500,000. Oh boy! For a net loss of $292,500,000. Can you say bomb? So the minimum that Disney invested in their 3 films is $1.008 billion. That's right. $1,008,000,000. And they brought back $394,926,564 for a net loss of these 3 films, $612,073,436. Holy crap. And I saved the best one for last.
And here we go.
Marvel. Looking at you out there, you know who you are. We're going to start with Guardians of the Galaxy, which had a $250 million stated budget with $150 million marketing for a $400 million price tag. The film grossed $845,468,744. Disney brought back $428,363,859 for a net profit of $28,363,859. That this is just going off the stated budget. Once we get the final numbers back in a few months on that total spend, that profit will evaporate, guaranteed. So, now we're going to go with Wasp and Ant-Man. What a waste of time, Mania, which had a $200 million budget plus $150 for a $350 million price tag, brought back the total gross $463,635,303. Disney brings back $218,007,510 for a net loss of $131,992,490. Oh boy, here we go. And finally, The Marvels. Production stated $274.8 million plus marketing. You come out to $424.8 million price tag. Now, Disney has stopped reporting these numbers, so at the time of recording this, capped it out at $198 million, which Disney would bring back $92,211,479 for a net loss. Are you ready, folks? $332,588,521. Oh, dear God in heaven. So Marvel invested in these 3 films $1.175 billion, brought back $738,582,848 for a net loss of $436,417,152. So, to break this all down, for this calendar year, the 4 pillars of Disney, for a total of 8 films, they invested a minimum $2.982 billion, returned $1.543 billion for a net loss for an entire calendar year of $1.439 billion loss. I mean, Forces Female, MCU, the not so secret queer agenda being inserted into children's programming. Is there any wonder? Disney's been trying to court the modern audience to reflect the world we live in, and it's led to complete financial disaster. And this is just the box office. This is not factoring in the average $200 million for a Disney Plus series. So to all you Disney shills out there, I'm sorry, but it sucks to suck. But these are just my thoughts. I'm going to turn it back over to you. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Check me out tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific, Legion Talk for Friday Night's Royal Rumble. Always talking about the week in pop culture. Always a fun time over there. Thank you so much for stopping by, folks. Again, quick reminder, hit that like button, ring that bell. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, too bad. Disney sucks. But I will see you all very soon. Have a great weekend ahead of you, folks. And always have fun. Hashtag keep talking. And always keep that smile on your face. Doodles.
I say you better